Dispatch was not what I expected after seeing it revealed on stage during the Game Awards last year. This game has honestly taken over in recent weeks, and for good reason. It's incredibly high quality, from the animation and artistic designs to the star-studded voice acting and production, the incredibly funny dialogue, and not to mention, it's a completely brand new and original IP, which gamers all over are united over. Yes, it's not a sequel of a sequel of a sequel prequel, and it's not a remakester, remaster, reimagining. It features not only fantastic voice actors we all know and love like Laura Bailey, but the main character, Robert Robertson, is voiced by Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad. And in a really unique decision, there's many familiar names attached to this too, like Charlie, Moist Critical, who plays Sonar, and Alana Pierce, who plays Malevola. This indie company is brand new, and the name might not ring any bells. Ad Hoc Studios. It's a smaller studio, yes, but we've seen, especially this year, smaller studios can make some of the most fantastic projects that stack well against the rest and can even shine brighter than before, like my beloved Expedition 33. So for some people, it might not seem like it, but 2025 has been one of the best years for gaming, and it completely might change things for the better moving forward. One can only hope, especially when it comes to AAA development and that landscape. But Ad Hoc Studio, where did they even come from? And how did they hit so many proper notes to not only create this game, but get some incredible talent to work on this project? Believe it or not, 4 of their founding members are from Telltale Games, a studio that we're all familiar with by now within gaming, and this story is actually something else. In 2018, Telltale Games, creators of the Walking Dead series, which was a massive hit, The Wolf Among Us, and Tales from the Borderlands series, Telltale basically and abruptly shut down, laying off majority of their staff, canceling all projects, and later in 2019, they were acquired by another company to eventually still release new titles. But some of the staff had moved on to form Ad Hoc Studios, which is founded by Michael Chung, Nick Herman, Dennis Lennart, and Pierre Charette. For a deeper dive into the history of this game and the company forming, I greatly recommend you guys check out Pounder McNasty's video on this. By the way, really love that channel name. It's a really insightful video and goes a lot deeper than I will on their history, and they do a really fantastic job on other deep dives as well. But what really strikes me with this whole story is the fact that this was a massive company. I mean, Telltale was putting out constant titles, which felt like a yearly thing. I remember there being Batman games, Borderlands Tales, Marvel, even more to go with that. But the company, as a result of taking on too many projects, hiring a larger staff, and being stretched too thin, really kind of suffered from all of this, because while many of those games were great, it became more of a quantity over quality approach. And you can really chalk that up to corporate greed, and it's a shame that that route even happened. The success for Ad Hoc Studios with the voicing talent is even crazier, considering that Critical Role, the super group of voice actors who run Dungeons & Dragons campaigns, partnered with them for this project and plan to do more Dispatch-related products over time. Critical Role's D&D series took off a few years ago, which led them to create even the show Vox Machina, which is largely based on their own D&D campaign that they had run before, with all the voice actors involved playing their own respective characters in the show. But they've also partnered with Ad Hoc to not only voice the characters, but produce and create Dispatch merchandise to sell, like their tabletop game, which they've done for other properties. Dispatch originally was a shelved product from 2018, that was going to be an interactive TV show experience like Bandersnatch was. But eventually, we now see it taking form as an actual video game that we can play, and I think that this route is ultimately the best way to have gone about it. Over the years, and especially in the year 2025, we have seen more than ever, smaller studios with significantly smaller budgets have been able to create passionate and high quality games. My game of the year and frontrunner for the award is Clair Obscur Expedition 33, a fantastic blend of old school JRPGs that we all know and love, with the same developers who also grew up in playing those games we all loved, and have cited them as direct inspirations. I have tons of videos, story breakdowns, character breakdowns, and damage breaking builds for that game on the channel. I highly recommend you guys play it and then check those out whenever you get the time. Expedition 33 was created by Sandfall Interactive, a tiny studio and development staff that has been working on this game since 2019. In 2019, it was just a dream that grew as industry friends got together to form a team to fully realize this dream into a reality. And frankly, I'm a bit confused on this, but it appears to have also been called Project W during its development. This is confirmed even on Sandfall Interactive's website. And previously, if you were to type in projectw.com as a URL, it would bring up the Sandfall Interactive homepage. And Google search used to do the same thing as well. Now it no longer does, and instead tells us that something exciting is coming. You can see their Sandfall page still references this in the 2023 blog, but what I find interesting is, and it's probably just a coincidence, but there was a long time rumor, I don't think it applies to this, those who know the backstory of Eidos Montreal and their Project W may be able to dive deeper than me with this, but if you know whether or not the Eidos Montreal and Square Enix Project W is in any way related to the Project W that is Expedition 33 or what it eventually became, please let me know. But my whole point in bringing up Sandfall is that similar to Ad Hoc, they are developers in a smaller studio who have more control over what they are creating, who also come from bigger studios where this type of passion project that they wanted to create is not something that would get greenlit easily, and possibly have too many cooks in the kitchen and ultimately devolve into something far from what the original idea was, a certified banger. And this stuff excites me to no end, seeing AA projects with smaller budgets and smaller teams, indie devs coming together to create massive, successful titles. It's not like indie devs haven't been making good products over the years. I mean, look at Hollow Knight among many others and their success, but it's more so that AAA studios are seeing the resounding praise and love for these projects that they're even praising them themselves. Look at Square Enix's director, Naoki Hamaguchi. His recent comments about Expedition 33 and Sandfall Interactive meeting up with them in person in the studio in Japan. And then also again, recently last week in Paris during Games Week, we saw an official collaboration event for Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated on Switch and Clair Obscur Expedition 33 that had the official artists of both games do a character portrait swap. Yes, on the bottom left, that is official Nomura art of Gustave and Mael in his style, rocking Zack and Aerith's outfits. During this event, Hamaguchi as well as Guillaume were interviewed live at this event. Hamaguchi has the utmost respect for the team, citing them as his game of the year and being inspired by them, going as far as to say he would love to make a AA game similar to Expedition 33 that's focused on one area. But in that reality, the position he has at Square Enix, he has to focus on what they want him to make instead. These creatives are excited at the creative freedom that these developers are getting and capable of doing, but are straight up saying that they can't do that in their position. I think going forward, the industry is going to be thriving even among the massive studio layoffs to where we see more teams become formed in this way, more studios in general, like Sandfall Interactive and Ad Hoc have come to exist, to create high quality products and original IPs that will become classics in our hearts. You know what's even crazier to think about? Ad Hoc Studio is founded by ex-Telltale employees, but also comprised of ex-Ubisoft developers. And Sandfall Interactive has the same exact thing, where most of their employees are juniors and ex-members from Ubisoft. The lead CEO and creative director, Guillaume, he was actually a project manager, associate producer, and narrative lead at various times in Ubisoft. So they have some insane DNA between these two companies, and I love the massive success stories that have come from their situation forming into what it is now. Not to mention, when it comes to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, there's been heavily official teases from the developers, directors, and voice actors that they are working on a new DLC that will be expanding and giving us more story. Well, it's not really teased, they straight up said it on their website. And again, the fact that the sole inspiration and driving force for Clair Obscur Expedition 33 being created and developed and existing is for the simple fact that there were no other companies that they felt like were doing high fidelity graphical JRPG games and that sort of nature, and they wanted to be the ones to sort of lead that charge in that way. It absolutely warms my heart. So man, if you guys haven't played Clair Obscur Expedition 33 yet, or Dispatch, I can't tell you enough how fast you need to correct this ASAP. Expedition 33 on launch was only $50 and is well worth over that price, and Ad Hoc's Dispatch is only $30 right now. The final 2 episodes release next week, which is insane because the game's not even out yet fully technically. But these two devs are leading the charge forward on what I hope the entire industry sees their success and inspires a whole new wave of higher quality indies with less corporate interference and greed. We also have our Expedition 33 Platinum video on the way, and I'm going to be doing Dispatch soon. So if you guys haven't seen our FF7 Remake one, let me know what you guys think about that one down below in the comments. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new. More games are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.